Hey guys, so welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. We are live to discuss the World Cup warm-up fixtures that was released. We did a show yesterday that was probably heavy. It was not probably. It was probably one of the worst shows I've done because it was so disrupted by the platform that I was using, completely conked out, and it didn't want me I was unresponsive for a large portion of the stream, so we had to do a shorter show because it blocked me off and locked me out for like at least 5 minutes, I think it was, or 10 minutes. So yeah, it was a very disruptive show. But today we're going to be talking about the World Cup fixtures that were released, and perhaps we're also going to talk a little bit about some other things I'll think that popped up as well in the news recently. But before we get going, before we get started, there's a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do. Please subscribe to the channel. Please click that notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The link is on the screen right now, as well as in the description. And also, you can help us out by becoming a patron today. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way in and on your way out if you haven't. And then go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all regular updates. So let's get into today's show. Looking forward to discuss this with you guys. Let's get into it. Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host Khalid Moeddin, and this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. And today we will be discussing the World Cup warm-up fixtures. So the ICC released a press release to tell us about what is going to take place with regards to the warm-up schedule. And it reads as follows. The official warm-up fixtures for all 10 teams at the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023 have been announced. The matches will be held from 29 September to 3 October across three venues in India, Guwahati, Hyderabad, and I can never pronounce his name properly, Tiruvananthapuram. Tarapuram. I can never pronounce this. It's so long, this word. Try to say that three times fast, guys. Fans can buy tickets for the warm-up matches from 25 August. For more information, it will be here. Let me just click on it quickly so you guys can see um, where you can buy the tickets. Be part of the history of registration now live for ICC Men's Cricket World Cup tickets. Fans can now register ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023 tickets to secure their spot at experiencing the joy of cricket in one day. Starting today in India, Independence Day, fans now can register for tickets. Registration can be done at cricketworldcup.com/register. So that's where you can get your tickets. Let's go back to the story again. Um, as at previous ICC World Cup events, warm-up fixtures will be 50 overs per side, but will not carry ODI status, as teams will be allowed to field all members of their 15-player squad in these matches. The ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023 begins on 5 October when defending champions England face New Zealand in Ahmedabad, which will also be the venue for the final on 19 November. ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023 warm-up fixtures. All matches start at 2 Indian Standard Time, which is, I think it is, 10 o'clock here in South Africa. Friday, 29 September, Bangladesh versus Sri Lanka, um, South Africa versus Afghanistan, New Zealand versus Pakistan. Then Saturday, 30 September, India versus England, Australia versus the Netherlands. Then Monday, the 2nd of October, England versus Bangladesh, then New Zealand versus South Africa. Tuesday, the 3rd of October, Afghanistan versus Sri Lanka, India versus Netherlands, and Pakistan versus Australia. So let's talk about those fixtures quickly. I would also like to hear what you guys think about the fixtures yourself. Um, but I think, from my perspective, it's two interesting clashes. First and foremost, we're going to be tested by the spin, I would say, of Rashid Khan in the warm up games for the World Cup against Afghanistan. It's a competitive match. It will be a competitive match, and it allows South Africa to play with 100% full of freedom. They are a very competitive side. They aren't walkovers. So it's going to be an interesting one to see how they play, because I mean, um, Afghanistan have a lot of talent in their team. Like, we do know about that they have fighters in their team. So I do think that batters will pose a threat and give our bowlers we'll pose some questions to our bowlers. But I'm particularly interested to see the way our batters play and get themselves into the flow of things against Afghanistan's bowlers. So that's going to be an interesting one from that perspective. Then New Zealand, I mean, we all know about New Zealand. They've got the pace of Lockie Ferguson. They've got the swing of s- um, s- of Saudi. They've got a decent batting attack. It's going to be a competitive match, I think. Even though it is going to be a friendly, but it will give South Africa a bit of a chance to free their hands and really test the full squad and giving them some game time. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens over there with regards to that, and how South Africa approach it. Very, very important World Cup for us. And I think as well, it's going to be the type of World Cup that maybe some players or maybe some fans are are not necessarily tipping South Africa to make it all the way or win the World Cup. I kind of think that we are not expecting that based on the last World Cup um, and the way we performed there. We were terrible at the last 50 over World Cup in 2019. It was a extremely disappointing outing, and we really thought that we would come to the party. This is obviously to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys the fixtures for the World Cup, so that you guys just can be reminded of that, and who we're going to be facing in that World Cup. So 7 October will be South Africa versus Sri Lanka, and it starts at 10:30 in the morning in South African Standard Time. Then the 12th of October, Australia versus South Africa, 10:30 start. Um, then we play on the 17th of October that team that kicked us out of the T20 World Cup, the Netherlands. That team, England, South Africa will be next on the 21st of October. Then South Africa versus Bangladesh on the 24th of October, and then Pakistan versus South Africa on the 27th of October. So just to give you guys an update on that, so that you guys know the fixtures. Then we go and play New Zealand on the 1st of November, India on the 5th of November, Afghanistan on the 10th of November. Um, and that's completes our basically our World Cup group stages, as you can call it, with regards to that. So very interesting to see that, and what players we're going to be. I mean, what teams we're going to be facing. Let me see what some of you guys have to say in the live chat. Lauren saying two decent warm ups. I'd say New Zealand will give us a challenge in terms of good quality pace bowling. Balton Saudi swinging it up front, and Nocky Ferguson with a raw pace and good control. Afghanistan will again provide a good challenge in terms of how we approach their high class spinners in Rashid Khan and Mujib. With New Zealand and Afghanistan are quite attacking when it comes to their batting as well. So good play for both disciplines, which is true. Yeah, and the point of warm ups obviously is exactly that. It's to get the players into the right mentality and the right mindset, and get some game time under their belts and to build momentum into the World Cup games. It's not necessarily all about the result, but for me, it will. I would like to see the approach. And South Africa, if they can do the right things in the warm ups, it will carry over into the groups, because that's kind of what you want to see. You want to see them do the right things, attempt to do the right things. If it comes off, it doesn't, and if it does, then great. But it's not a priority for us to get a result in the match. It's rather I would like to see the way we approach things. What is the mentality? How do we approach the power play with regards to our opening batting partnership? Do we run between the wickets hard? Are we going to be playing? Can our players come into the mix and start going from ball one, or not, at least from not from ball one, but after a couple of after an over or two, and start batting at a higher strike rate a lot quicker than they usually do. It's about team cohesion. What is their body language like in the field? Are they up for it from the start? It's all of those type of things that I would like to see from the warm-ups. I want to see the right attitude going into this. That's the main thing for me. um, the attitude and the structure that they are and the attitude and the mentality that they approach it with, in my opinion. Cheese Griffin says Afghanistan will test our batting against spin. Excited for that fixture. Yes, definitely. Um, we'll also be able to see in this warm up game, because they're playing with no pressure in the scenario. So for me, it would be to try and play your best. If I was the coach of the Proteas, I'll probably suggest that you try and play your best cricket that you can. I mean, you don't want to go play the warm ups half heartedly either, because that can carry over into the rest of the games of the tournament. I want to see them play aggressively against spin and see what their game plan is against spin, and they might as well get into the right mentality from the get go. Straight up, go out there, play their game, and we can see how we've developed and how we've grown over the last couple of year under Rob Walter and so far since the last World Cup. If there's been improvements, if there's been an attitude shift, etc., I would like to see that. It's a bonding time for these players as well on the field, for them to be able to get to know each other. I mean, not to get to know each other, they should know each other already, but at least be able to build a cohesion and a mentality into and momentum into the tournament. That's kind of the main thing when it comes to these warm up games. So I needed to get that out of the way and let you guys know what took place over there. So because we haven't done an update on that on this channel yet, so I thought that I'll bring you that, of course, um, to see what we will be playing. There has been an announcement as well from Cricket South Africa with regards to. Oops. Oh, come on now. Um, okay. I'm not gonna show it from here. Let me show you from cricketfanaticsmag.com. Okay, so there has been an announcement with regards to the women's game. I see that Mark L has asked what's going on with the Proteas women. I did a show yesterday about the Proteas women and also the Proteas domestics thing as well. The Proteas domestic team as well. I mean the women's domestic league as well, and how they've changed the structure and with regards to monetary improvements, and also how they professionalized them. Um, so that's something that I'm looking to talk about. Um, I'll probably end off with the women's announcement a little bit later on. Let's continue this conversation because I saw an article on the South African that I want to discuss with you guys, and I want you to kind of rate the team that was selected, the squad that was selected by one of the journalists. I thought that the article was kind of interesting with the language that was used. Um, it was quite confident, I would say. The writer obviously backing himself in this particular instance. The title was "Picking the Proteas, the squad can win the World Cup." It was a very bold statement made by James Richardson. This is the 50-man squad the Proteas should pick for the upcoming ICC World Cup 2023 in India. It reads, the Proteas will head to India in September for another tilt at ending the Cricket World Cup heartache that has beset South Africa since readmission. This time, however, they have a chance to take a world beating squad if they follow our suggestions. And that's what he's saying in this particular article. After naming the 90-man squad to face Australia, the Proteas will have to slash the group to 15 players that will make the trip to India. There are some tough calls to make, but there is a definite ideal 15, he says. Proteas leaders, okay, he talks about Temba Bavuma will skip at the side, but ultimately this team is packed full of leaders of different types, from T20 skipper Aiden Markham to lead fast bowler Kagiso Rabada. I think David Miller can be thrown in there. I think that Heinrich Klaassen, who was a former Proteas captain as well, can be thrown. Interim captain can be thrown in there. Quinton de Kock also can be thrown in there because he was the captain of the Proteas as well. So there are quite a few leaders in this team, which that's why I like this ODI squad. The idea of it is amazing. It's just now about application and if they can apply themselves. The Proteas should have a good idea of the ideal top six, which includes Pavuma opening the batting with Quinton de Kock. Rassi van der Dussen and Markram will hold down the middle order. Meanwhile, for the finishers, you cannot go wrong with inform Heinrich Klaassen, which is true, and number 5, David Miller, as the safety net at number 6. So that's how he's formulated his team. The reserve batter is a man who keeps knocking on the Proteas 11 door in Riza Hendricks. This is his opinion. Okay, and all rounder questions. We've spoken about that immensely on the show. We've spoken about how we have the all rounder position is something that is open. It's something that we have to find heading into this World Cup. Who's going to be that player? And I'm hoping that the Australia series clears that up for him. So this is his squad that he says will win the World Cup. Temba Bavuma captain, Quinton de Kock wicketkeeper, Rassi van der Dussen, Aiden Markram, Hendrik Klaassen wicketkeeper, David Miller, Riza Hendricks, Gerald Coetzee, Marco Jansen, Keshav Maharaj, Debrey Shamsi, Lungin Gidi, Kagiso Rabada, Anik Nukuya, and Sisanda Magala. So I'd like you guys to maybe give a quick rating in the chat. Let me know what you guys think of that particular 11. This particular squad of 15. Is it something that you agree with? You can do it. You can rate it out of 10. Tell me if you think it's brilliant, or if you think that there maybe should be another name in, who should be left out from this particular squad. Let me know what you guys think in the live chat right now, please, guys. Lawrence says, I'm tipping us to go all the way, Khalid. We're taking one of the best sides to the event. Our best 11 stacks up with India, Australia, and England. Our top 6 is some of the most versatile in the world. Yes, I do have a lot of belief in this team. Um, I do believe that we can do well in this tournament, but it's all going to be up to us. Um, it's all going to be up to our mentality and our approach. I think if we all if these players play their natural games, I think we automatically will be um, we automatically will be in the top of the you could say the power plays. We will be able to dominate the power plays at least with Quinton and Temba. I think Temba, for me, has really improved his white ball game. Particularly his ODI form is phenomenal. And in the power play, if he doesn't do anything foolish and he sticks to his game, he can really put pressure on most teams. And I think that's important because it will take pressure off Quinton de Kock. I've always spoken about this. Quinton de Kock is at his best when he's playing with freedom. When the opposition bowlers are under pressure, Quinton de Kock is magnificent at making their lives a lot harder. So I'm really, really hoping that he can do that. It's something that I'm hoping that Quinton comes to the fold. This is like almost like his last opportunity to really show us that he can dominate in an ICC event. Why not do it now? I mean, it's the perfect time for him to come into the team and really become that dominant player for us and win us something. Because he has all the talent in the world. He was always a great up and coming player. It was always in the works for him to be able to be that star player for South Africa since he was a youngster coming into the system. So now it's about time that he lives up to that name and he lives up to this. What's amazing about this World Cup is that we play that the teams that we play all the teams. So it's nice to be able to you can, if you want to be the best, you need to beat the best. And we're playing so many different teams in the World Cup, of course, that are different and that have different styles. And I think that South Africa are quite adaptable to all of them. That's something that I'm quite confident about. That no matter who we face, we can beat them. It's not out of it's not out of reach to think that we can beat them. That we can beat these teams. I think probably the in India against India, that will be a tough one, of course. And I do think that as well, that the game against a game against England will always be tough. That's another one that's always going to worry me. And Australia, they always come to these ICC events at their best. Now they just find a way. Doesn't matter what form they're in. They always find a way to be to be good at these tournaments, and we can't underestimate Pakistan either. So I like this format of the World Cup. Um, like the format of the Cricket World Cup. It makes it extremely competitive, and it allows it allows for the best teams to obviously um, it allows the best teams to go to the top. It really proves that the best team will win. That's what I like about the format. Um, so yeah, it will it will be interesting to see how South Africa really play. We know that the format will feature 10 teams and they follow the same format as the 2019 edition, with a round robin stage followed by the knockouts. All 10 teams will compete against each other once in the round robin stage. So the fact that that the teams will, I just had to double check that that is the format. And I looked, when we did the fixtures out, it seemed that way. So the fact that everybody plays everybody, it's once in a round robin phase, means that the best teams will be the best teams will come out on top, and that's what makes it amazing. So we're gonna see the best teams. Whoever wins the World Cup will be the best ultimately, because at least we know that all teams have played, get an opportunity to play everybody, and it's really trying to put the best players against the best players. Um, let's see what else is over here that I can read. Lawrence saying, and in Rabarada, Nokia, we have deadly attack coupled with the first spin of Shamo and good control of Kesh and Bjorn. I really hope Shamo comes to the party. In ODI cricket, I'm a little bit nervous about him because he does tend to give quite a well. In recent times, he's been quite expensive. But in India, the conditions should suit him. He should be able to use that deadly wrist spin and be an X factor player. I mean, he's always been a player that likes pressure. Um, for me, that's how it's always come across. But sometimes when he is in a bit of a bad form, it's difficult for him to get out of that. So I'm hoping that he comes into this tournament with good form, and he really, really shows that he can really be consistent throughout the tournament. We know what we get from Kesh basically and Bjorn. They kind of they are kind of they kind of do their role consistently in all games. Bjorn hardly ever has a bad game. So, and similarly with Kesh, they're quite consistent bowlers that keep it on the keep a decent line and length, and they attack the stumps. So that's what makes them great. Bjorn likes to attack the stumps and also um, makes it difficult for batters to play. So, but they kind of keep straighter lines than Shamo. Shamo will try to get that magical ball in that will fool the bowlers, the batters. So I like the combinations, and if we play with three spinners, it will be awesome. And dependable on who plays in our 11, and who will take those extra overs, is also going to be very, very interesting. Cheese says, I agree with Lawrence. What the top six from where we come from since 2019. Cheese Griffin Shamsi picked some form in the Sri Lanka League, and that's great that he has. That he has picked up some form. Mark L says depends on what form they're going to the tournament because it's almost the same team that got knocked out last tournament. Um, is it? Um, I mean, Faf was there, Amla was there. Um, let's double check what the team was back then. I can't remember. Um, I've blocked that out of my mind. That particular World Cup. To be honest with you, um, we had yeah, Rassi was there, of course. Okay, so our team was um no, I wouldn't say it was the same almost the same team really. Kwani was there, Faf was there, Rassi, JP was still there, Dwayne Pretorius, Antile Pechlaquayo, um okay, Aiden Marklin and Quinton opened the batting. Well, at least against Australia. Still had Imran Tahir. Um so where's that match where we batted right until the end? Or when we were bowled out. Yes, man, we struggled in this World Cup. I remember that. I do remember. Hashim Amla, Quinton, Faf, Aiden, Rassi, David Muller, Andy Repekal, Chris Morris, KG, Lungi, Imran Tahir. So yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say it's exactly the same team. Um, it's almost the same team. Um, I don't agree with that one. So, and also we coming into amazing form at the moment. Shamo is coming off a good Lanka Premier League, good confidence booster. Hopefully, this is when an experienced coach and thinker in Eric Simons will be crucial for us. Will keep our guys calm. It's a very good addition that to the squad. If Stubbs Brave is back at number 7, then we only need one spinner. Will make we then only one spinner will make way to playing 11. Doesn't look good. Amla was terrible in 20. He was. Quinton de Kock did nothing. He didn't. Markram had one good knock against New Zealand. Miller was poor. Rassi was our best player. 2019 was horrible. Yes, it was. Mark says, last tournament, I mean the T20. Oh, you mean the T20. Different formats, different mentality, different everything. So I wouldn't compare the two. Um, our ODI team plays a very different brand of cricket. He's supposed to play a very different brand of cricket to our T20 team. So I'm hoping that these and my thing is we with the players we have in this particular top six, we should be able to play our natural games and still be quite attacking because Quinton's a naturally attacking player. Temba Bavuma kind of he gets his eye in and he has a good he anchors an innings almost. And then you got number 3 with Rassi, who's one of the best ODI batters that South Africa has, and tends to also steady ships and then push on. The problem is our biggest problem, I think, comes in when when Quinton loses his wicket early. Then Rassi and Temba come in and they take their time and they don't utilize the power plays as well. That's what I think is our biggest problem. If Temba loses his wicket, you can we okay because Rassi can come in and he can play that Temba role too. He can slow things down a little bit and just keep us calm. That's what Rassi does the best because Rassi is dominant. If he can survive in an innings, he dominates in the latter stages of a game. He really goes and he smacks things. So um, so I'm hoping that Quentin de Kock comes to the party this tournament. That will be the most important thing for me. Yeah, Tabo, you're making me have to read this name out again. Tiruvananthapuram Stadium. Yo, dyslexic. Greensfield is a high scoring venue, so the spinners of Afghanistan won't be as effective as on venue like Chennai, Lucknow, or Delhi. Yo, I need to speak to Aditya. It needs to train me how to say that name. I haven't seen him in a while, actually. I must get him back on the show. She says, but I enjoyed that last game versus Australia where Faf scored a ton and Rassi's 94. Yeah, but by that time we were already out of the tournament. Khali, I don't think we're taking three spinners to the World Cup since Markram will provide us with a good over. So who are you taking between Bjorn and Kesh? Shama will go because he offers something different. Um, between Bjorn and Kesh, yo, you guys asking me a difficult question. I'm gonna go with Bjorn. Maybe it's a little biased. But I'll go. I want to go with Bjorn because Bjorn offers something with the bat, and also I like the guy's attitude and mentality, and he can open as well. Um, yeah, um, Bjorn's batting has improved as well a lot. I'd go with Bjorn, but even though Kesh is so good as well, so you guys gave me a difficult one to answer. But I would go with Bjorn. I think we will go far. Sorry, I think we will go far with the new gameplay things looking much better with Rob. Yeah, I think what I like about Rob is I like the way Rob speaks about the game. Um, yeah, I like the way thingy about thingy. I like the way Rob speaks about the game, and I like that he instills that he has that strength and conditioning aspect of the game, of his coaching as well in it, which which instills a certain intensity into the team, which I like a lot. So Rob always speaks about game plans and the way we want to play the game and things like that. But I think he also has a very good understanding of the importance of form, etc. So and it seems like he is creating an atmosphere where he can get the best out of the players. So I just hope it works out. Tabo says in short form, it's Trivandrum. 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 Yeah, I must be able to say the full name properly. Hi, Holly bro, and everyone. This is Wakas. I tuned in very late. Welcome to the show, brother. Um, Kesh can also open bowling like Bjorn. I know he can, but Bjorn has a lot more. I think so. Has a lot more experience opening the bowling in white ball cricket than I think Kesh does. Um, Kesh is also coming off a very serious injury as well, so that also plays a part in it as well in my mind. But we'll see in this Australia series who does well. I also go with Bjorn, bro. Gives us good batting and can bowl with up front in the middle order. Kesh not playing for 6 months worries me, and no one just recovers from Achilles. He might struggle. That's also, yeah, like I said, the injury also has to play its part in this because he has been out for quite some time. We'll have to see how he is looking in this Australia series, and based off that, going into the warm ups, they need to make a decision between the two of them. When are we playing our first warm up game? Says um says Wakas. Yeah, we did that at the top of the show, but I'll show it to you guys again. Let me just up. I'm sorry. Let me just upload it. I did create a graphic for it as well, so I'll just show you guys again um what the where is it what the schedule is for that. I'm sure I had a Here we go. Stupid Khalid. Um, it's just loading quickly, guys. So yeah, I did a little graphic for you guys on that. So da, 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 da. We play our first game on Monday, the 2nd of October against New Zealand, and then we play Afghanistan. No, sorry, Friday, 29th of September against Afghanistan, and then Monday, the 2nd of October against New Zealand. That's the fixtures, all the warm-up fixtures over there on the screen right now. So yeah, and we're 4 hours behind India. The last time I checked, so 2 o'clock will be 10 o'clock here, I think. 10:30, around about there. So the World Cup games start at 10:30 for South Africa, in South African Standard Time. So at least you guys know. Um, we will be going live directly after the games, which is awesome. So guys, get ready. After you've watched the games, we go live within 5 to 10 minutes after the game is done. Why has Rassi's strike rate slowed down recently? If you remember at the beginning of his protest career, he was almost batting like Klaasen is now. I think it's form. That's in my opinion. Um, I think it's 100% form. Um, if he can get back into the rhythm again, and I also think the T20 has, the T20 game has forced Rassi to be what he's not, especially the S20 and all of this, etc. It's like trying to force Rassi to be a player that he isn't, and it's maybe messed around with him a little bit, which is crazy for me. Uh, I would like to see Brevis in the seventh spot, says Tyler. The Australia series, hopefully he can do well there. We are still searching for that all rounder spot, he says. Yep, we are. I've been speaking about that for some time now, that we need to find that all rounder. It's bothering me that we haven't produced all rounders that can be consistent at the top level. Lawrence saying Mount out is a blessing in disguise for you. Got to go get Amrabat and Gravenberch now, Gravenberg on, or even both. If we can get both, I'll be like extremely happy. I watched Amrabat in the World Cup for Morocco, and I was like, this guy, United should sign him. I said it back then already. So when I saw that we are linked with him, I was really happy. But I don't know why they're taking so long. Um, I don't know if it's a blessing in this guy. I mean, I think people are a little bit harsh on Mount. It's 2 games for United. Um, we haven't, we don't, we're not playing we're not in our best form at the moment, and we aren't, we're looking very fit. It looks like we are either overworked or we didn't prepare enough, or some people are still unfit on an holiday. That's how it seems, which is really terrible for me, because you know that I'm the type of guy that says I want to see 100% effort, and if you fail, then I can accept that. But if you need to give your best, so sometimes it doesn't look like that in the last 2 games that our players are giving their best. Mount actually in the last game against Tottenham, he was playing well in that role. Others think what's happening is they're isolating Casemiro too much. They're pumping up to, they're standing into over the halfway line, deep over the halfway line, playing. Mount and Bruno are playing very high up, and they should be. One of them should drop next to Casemiro to counter that. Mount, similar to Bruno, Ten Hag is delusional at the moment. I don't agree. I just think that the style of football that we do play, I think we'll get better and better as the season goes along. Yes, we played terribly in the second half against Tottenham, but I'm not going to throw my toys at the cot out of after 2 games. Last season we had a worse start. We got smacked 4-0 by Brentford and 2-1 against Brighton in the first 2 opening games. This time at least we have a win, even though we didn't play well. So yeah, that's United talk for you guys. Sorry, for the ones that don't want to hear about that. Um, Marcus says, I wanted to see our youngsters playing warm up matches. Well, Marcus, the way it works is all 15 players get to play. Your whole 15-man squad gets to play in the warm up. So you're going to see everybody that's in that team play. Jansson should be the all rounder. Perhaps, yes. I'm hoping this domestic season, Marco Janssen can get a lot of opportunities to bat for the Warriors, and really step up and show what he's capable of with the bat. I hope they give him a lot of game time with the bat. I want to see him do that. Mount is similar to Bruno. Okay, that was Joined late. How's everyone? TT, I'm tired, but I'm good. I don't know how everybody else is. If you want to answer TT there, shouldn't have got Mount. Him and Bruno not going to work, says Mark L. Play Mount on the wing. Bun Anthony, sorry for the footy chat. Love it, love. I don't mind, bro. I enjoy it as well. So, um, yeah, some of these players need to get a wake up call. I've been saying it for a while that the attitudes when things don't go well, we lose our heads. We just need to keep focus. Similarly to the Proteas, we mustn't lose our head. We must believe in our abilities and follow the instructions, and then we'll do well. Um, the number 7 spot is tricky. Don't know if Brevis can do a job as a bowler in that spot. I like Jansen, but think 7 is one spot too high at the moment. Perhaps Brevis and Markram share bowling duties. Yeah, that's what I would like to see. Um, Even in the T20 setup, I would like to see Markram and Deerwald share the duties if they both play. I would like to see the a number 7 that can bowl a little bit as well, maybe 1 or 2 overs in the T20 format, and then they can share duties with Aiden Markram. That will make us so much stronger because then we can battle 7. Like we definitely battle 7. And then our number 8 batter is a good batsman, maybe not good enough to play 7, but definitely good enough to play 8. So we strengthen our batting line up till 8. And then even if we want to play another all rounder at 9, you can do so if you want to. But okay, with the amount of spinners you need to play, it makes it a little bit tricky. Tabo once again saying George Linder would have been perfect at 7. Um, you see, I'm not of the same opinion in when it comes to George Linder at 7. I don't see George Linder as necessarily a finishing type of player, and I might be wrong with that opinion. From what I've seen, when he bats well is when he has time. He bats better in that 5 position, in my opinion. When I watch him play for Western Province as well, he bats better when he has some time to get himself in and then go for it. That's what I think. um, when it comes to that 7 position, I don't see George Linder as the smashing type of player, big hitter that's going to clear the boundary immediately, coming in, finisher type of player. I don't see him as that type of player, and maybe I'm completely wrong. Good shout that, Tyler. We need to share overs. That's always a benefit if a team can do that. Matt saying, where's Evan Jones? Evan Jones needs to be consistent first in the domestic setup, I think, before he can start talking about maybe playing for the Proteas. We need a lot of our guys. We need them to have a couple of good seasons in the domestic setup, um, and then we can see where we take it from there. How about Delano Potgieter at 7 then? The same thing with him. He didn't have the best of seasons consecutively. Um, and it hasn't been the Delano I saw 4 years ago, 3 years ago. So I want to see them play consistently over time. But I think this season is going to be an extremely important season for a lot of people, because we might see in the 4-day arena, we're going to see these players get opportunities probably in Shukri's makeshift test team that he's going to have to put together, um, because of the SA20 messing up our test series against New Zealand. So it's going to be a very important 4-day series with that from that regard. In the list A in T20 form, I mean, I'm not so worried about the T20s, but in the list A, it is it's proper opportunity for Rob to now see a full season of domestic cricket and see how our players step up and who can really show him that they deserve a spot in the team, particularly because the World Cup in South Africa in 2027 is going to be a massive one. So if players can start getting into their form now and over the next 3 years start to play consistently at the domestic level, Rob will have some questions that he needs to answer. It's all about consistency now from the players, because we're in a transition, particularly in Test cricket, and we will be in a transition in ODI cricket too soon. So some of these players might not play in the next World Cup. So there are really going to be opportunities for players to put up their hands and step up in this domestic tournament. Yep. Give him 20 overs to bat and he'll get you good runs. He can smash it, but he's either smashing it or gets out. Um, Even Jones averages 55 in first class cricket with a bat, says Tabo. When does the 4 day? Well, not in 4 day. That's probably if you're looking at cricket for that's probably combined with his previous semi-pro stats. I think. I don't know what did he do last season. I can't remember. Go check that, guys, for me, please. When does the 4 day comp start? Now we're getting an announcement this weekend about the domestic game, about the domestic men's domestic cricket. There's going to be an announcement in Durban on Saturday, I think, about the domestic fixtures probably. So I will let you guys know as soon as it comes out. We'll post it on cricketfanaticsmag.com when it gets released. Whatever the announcement is and whatever the launch is, whatever the launch reveals, and then we'll probably discuss it on the Daily Show on Monday. Monday, because we play on Wednesday. So I might do, yeah, I'll probably show it to you guys on Monday in our preview for the Australia series. I think the Aussie series will tell us where we stand and the things we need to improve for the World Cup. Spot on there, Wakas. It will. We need to fill that 7 role that's bothering me at the moment. I'm not worried about our top 6. I'm not worried about our top bottom 3. It's that 7 that's bothering me. So yeah, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. As you know, we spoke. Oh no, wait! Before I go, I need to I need to speak about one more thing that I forgot to speak about, and that is the announcement of interim captain Laura Wolfart. So as we know, Sune Loose stepped down, and Laura Wolfert has been named interim Proteas captain. Cricket South Africa is pleased to announce that the appointment of Laura Wolfert as interim Proteas captain, the talented top order batter, will lead the team for the upcoming tours against Pakistan and New Zealand. Wolfert's appointment comes in the wake of Sune Loose recently relinquishing a role as interim captain and unavailability of Chloe Tryon, the vice captain for Pakistan series. By agreement with Wolfart, the position will be reviewed following the conclusion of the New Zealand inbound tour. The 24-year-old, who was born under the picturesque view of Table Mountain in Cape Town, made her international debut at the young age of 16 in an ODI encounter against England in February 2016 in Benoni. In a more than 7 years as a consistent member of the national team, the stroke player has rocked to third on the all-time ODI run scorers list for the Proteas women, amassing 3,193 runs at an average of 45.61, including 29 50s and 3 centuries in 80 matches. She needs to improve that conversion rate. In T20I cricket, the former six-gun Krill Western Province product and current Fidelity Titan star. She's moved to the Titans, by the way, guys. We did reveal that in our latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. So you can go read our exclusive interview with Laura Wolfart. Fidelity Titan star has grown into a game in the 53 appearances for her nation. Wolfart has racked up 1,079 runs and 7 off centuries, along with a career best score of 66 not out against Bangladesh, to help guide the Proteas to an ICC Women's T20 World Cup semi-final in February this year. Emerging as a rising sensation during a period of triumph for the Proteas women, Wolfert has garnered international acclaim. Her journey has led her to represent various franchises in the T20 competitions around the globe, featuring in leagues such as the Women's Big Bash League, the 100, and the Women's Premier League in India. Commenting on her appointment as interim captain for the Pakistan and New Zealand tours, Wolfart said, "It's a massive honor to be offered this position as captain for the next 2 tours. It's something that I've always aspired to do, having played in this team for a couple of years. Having more of a leadership role is something I've wanted to take on. It'll help me as a cricketer, and learning to think as a captain on the field will hopefully help my batting as well. I'm very excited to be able to contribute in another way too, and not just in batting. It still feels surreal at the moment, but it will all become more real when I meet up with the team in Pakistan. What I can bring to the roles is the experience that I have in the side. I've been playing international cricket since I was 16 years old. I know quite a lot of players in the circuit, and I've been playing in the leagues as well. So I've played a lot of cricket in recent years, and hopefully I'm able to use that experience and knowledge to my advantage when I captain the team. She speaks like a captain, really, she does. I'd like to also think of myself as quite calm and level headed, and that's probably more of the approach that I try to take on the field as captain. It is very new to me, but I am keen to learn and do everything that I can to do well in the position. I'm lucky that I have a couple of senior players within the squad around me as well who could be able to help me and guide me if I do need help along the way, Wolfhard added. So CSI Director of Cricket Enoch Nkwe said, congratulations to Laura on her appointment as the captain of Proteas women's team for the upcoming tours. Laura's dedication, leadership, acumen, and cricketing prowess have been evident throughout her career. Her ability to stay composed under pressure and a deep understanding of the game make her an ideal candidate to lead the team. The captaincy holds a vital role in shaping the team's strategy and morale, especially during tours as important as these to Pakistan and at home against New Zealand. It's brilliant that the women are traveling up to Pakistan. I mean, it was the first time in 13 years that the men did it not so long ago. Laura's influence as captain will extend beyond her individual performances as she guides the team towards their goal. As the Proteas women embark on these critical tours, CSA wishes Laura and the entire team the very best. The challenges ahead are immense, but with Laura's leadership and the team's collective efforts, they are well poised to deliver outstanding performances on the field and concluded. The Proteas are set to kick off their 2023-24 season with the first ever tour to Pakistan between the 1st and the 14th of September, with a three-match T20I series and a three-match ODI series, with all contests held at the National Stadium in Karachi. The ODI series will resume South Africa's ICC Women's World Championship qualification part to the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup 2025. The Proteas currently on 6 points with 3 wins in three. Yeah, so guys, I just had to read that out. That was a brilliant article actually. Well done to CSA for announcing that. Um, let's see what you say here. Hardy, please get your win against Father Saturday, please, because I don't want to worry about laws of average when you come to the Emirates. Congrats to says Wakas. How is Hilton still coach makes no sense. Yeah, 10, it's been a long time in that job. I would like to see a change up, to be honest with you. It's been long enough. He's had a long enough time there. I would like to see something new in that position. Okay, guys, welcome to Cricket. I mean, welcome. Thank you. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. You are missing up a lot. I'm very tired. I need to go sleep. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe. Click that notification bell for all future videos, please. We are about 50 odd away from 4,000 subscribers. So please get your friends and family that are South African cricket fans to subscribe to the number one cricket channel on YouTube currently, from a South African point of view, South African cricket point of view. So please go ahead and do that right away. Also, what I need you guys to please do is download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly, and you can subscribe to the mag. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. Um, Also, you can help us out by becoming a patron today. Smash the like button, comment, and share, and go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow with our Q&A session. That's if no one, no news pops up. It depends on all the news that we're going to get. If we get any news tomorrow and big announcements, then we'll probably have to talk about that. But it will be the fan Q&A session where you guys can ask me anything. Okay, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace out.